Well, hello there. This is Shane from Shane's Reviews, and I hope you're having a great day today. Well, I've got a book to talk to you about. It was wrote by Robert Sheckley, narrated by Bronson Pinchot. I think that's right. It's got 407 ratings and it's 4 stars. Well, okay. Well, let's talk about that. Now, some of you guys and gals may have noticed that things are a little different on the set, and I hope that that's not a problem. Now, it's not that I'm not going to use the set. That's literally right there. It's just that I feel like the energy is a little different, and I've got some things that I'm working through personally. So this will make it hopefully a little bit more interesting than just blah. In fact, that'll be the question of the week. It's already happened. What do you think? Is the energy better whenever I'm standing and we're doing this versus whatever? And of course, the editors are going to hate me because I've got a background that's black and my shirt's black. Not going to be a whole lot they can do with that, unfortunately. But anyway, let's just move on. So, production was good. Narration was decent. I'm not going to say it's the best I've ever heard, and I'm certainly not going to say it's the worst I've ever heard. However, well, no, there is no but. It's just, it was a decent performance. But the problem that I had, see, there's the but, was that it almost came off as satire the way that it was read, and I don't think it was meant to be satire. I really don't. Give me just a second. Be right back. No, it's not a beer. It's really not. It's not. But I kind of felt like it came off as satire because I don't think it should have been. I don't know if I'm happy with it or if I'm not happy with it. So, one more little diversion. Way back in the day, whenever I first signed up with Audible, they were not owned by Amazon at that point. In fact, they were their own little company, and it was a toss-up in between them and another company, but I liked the model of, regardless if I continue with my subscription or not, I still hold the license, so I can still listen to the books that I've purchased, even if I'm not buying new books. I found out about that quite by accident, because one day, I didn't have a subscription, because, well, let's be honest, I was 10, 12 years ago, and I was struggling quite a bit at that point in life, and I was really bummed out. I wanted something good to listen to, and I opened it up just by happenstance and saw that I could still listen to the books. So I downloaded a couple of them, and that was pretty cool. But the point about that is they had a really good method of, you could rate the book, and then they would recommend other books within the genres that you seem to like, or the particular type of blah blah blahs that you like, which was really cool. And then Amazon bought them and broke it all. Now, if you're a new person, that's not going to be a problem for you. And if you didn't do what I did, which was try to migrate all your library into it, and you just bought things new, there won't be a problem with that either. But for me, because I had a bunch that I brought over, because I didn't want to lose almost, I think at that point, 100 books, it broke that. So now Amazon doesn't know what I own and what I don't own, and I have to go in there and tell it. And that really sucks, because my recommendations have gone horribly bad. Horribly so. So the reason why I tell that is to get to the point why I actually picked this book up in the first place. I was bored. I had about 3 minutes of time to myself, and I was like, well, I need another book to listen to, and it was recommended to me by Amazon. Now, typically, this is not the type of story I would pick up on my own, just because its description. I mean, its description sounds really familiar. The reason why is because of a lot of the items that I've read or listened to in the past. There's kind of a common interest point that I have whenever it comes to that kind of a read, things that I enjoy whenever I'm on my own. And that's usually a military sci-fi drama, some kind of like futuristic type. Oh, blow it out your tailpipe, buddy. Some type of futuristic type technology mixed into that, and a fairly decent long type of a story. So a universe, a thing that's going to require multiple books to tell the story. I enjoy that kind of a thing. And this book, it kind of starts out that way. So we get introduced to a character and he dies. Oh, and then he wakes up and he's in the future. Therein, that sounds like it could be an interesting story. Because imagine you're from like 1950s or 1970s. Or even 1980s, early 90s. That world was completely different than the world we live in now. Just as if we were to have the same thing happen, die in a car accident, and one of us wake up, 2222. Year 2222 is the magical mark that we are going to go for. Things would be a lot different, but they would be the same, and that's what the character finds out. But there's not a you have this that you need to do type of a story. It doesn't present itself in a more traditional aspect of, okay, you died. Now you need to figure out why you died. And this is going to be our story. Instead, it's you died, you came back to life, and well, there's nothing for you. Sorry, we made a mistake. We shouldn't have brought you back. And that's kind of where he is. And the personality type of the main character is so lackadaisical, I guess would be a good word for it. I mean, not necessarily strong, not necessarily weak. Rides the fence right down the middle. Doesn't want to offend, doesn't want to not offend until the end. And I think that was probably one of my big beefs, was at the very end, I don't think that the author was true to the character that was presented. The character that was presented was unsure of themselves, sure. And, you know, who wouldn't be? You wake up 200 years in the future. Things are a lot different. You're going to question most things around you. But the problem I had was he went from being a most likable loser type of a character to, yeah, I did it on purpose. Yay. And that just, I didn't feel like that was genuine to the character. But on the same token, I feel like this could have also been broke out into multiple books. And that, God, that's another beef, because that story with this character coming back to life could have been so much more than what it was if we had all the English out of the middle and all these little distractions of stories that are cool tidbits that would have made really good stories of their own. But no, we end up with a washing machine jumble of all this stuff kind of mixed in together, with him trying to trudge his way through to the end of the story. He finally gets there, but not of his own volition. And then, of course, all of a sudden wants to become a very strong character whenever they find out X, Y, or Z, and the personality changes completely. It seems like the tonality, everything was different. I'm curious to know if any of you guys and gals have read this story. In case I didn't mention it, it is Immortality. And that's one of those things that it interests me a lot. Because it's like the sci-fi promised land. We get to a technological point where we can shrug off death and then become what we want to become over the course of time. There's all kinds of other stories. I mean, if we look at like Altered Carbon, right? They kind of use the same type of setup for getting people from point A to point B. Where needle casting, that's it. They use needle casting to get characters from one side of the universe to another. And there's kind of a thing like that that's described for this main character whenever it comes to him being brought back. And then it's not explained at all. So there was a beginning and then there wasn't anything. There was a whole lot of not payouts in this book. And that was, I think that's the third thing that really kind of got my goat about it. Now, I know that I'm down talking it quite a bit, right? But, on the same token, it really wasn't a bad story. I felt like there was the cheapness at the end of changing the character and the English in the middle. And just really not a whole lot of like substance type of I feel validated for reading this. I think that's the main three issues that I had with it. If you've read it, tell me what you think about it. If you haven't read it, I would be curious to see if you read it, if you felt the same or not, because I know that in my personal life, I've got a couple things I'm going through at the moment. And I might be a little bit more judgmental at this point in life than I would have been 3 months ago or 6 months from now. So that could be a little bit of it, but I'm not attacking the book either. I don't want to portray that. But anyway, and just to like put this out there, if this is this person's first book and they got it out and this is their first go, they've done an incredible job. However, if they are a seasoned author, which I haven't looked up and I'm probably not going to, shame on you. You know better. You do. And don't say that you don't. But anyway, so that's pretty much that. I mean, it is what it is. Because if he had stayed true, if he had stayed that almost lovable, affectionate type of a character, but kind of had issues making decisions, I can respect that. But not a complete 360 plus a 180 plus a 570 Tony Hawk, doing tricks on a skateboard type of a change in the personality from, yeah, all right, well, that sucked, it didn't work out, but I'm going to do this now and see if I can get further. I mean, even that's respectable, but that's not what it was. It went from, yeah, to, rah, just all at once, and that really wasn't true. That's not the way that a character would have, I don't think, responded. Not that character that I was listening to, and I have listened to for 3 goes. So, yeah, that's that. With that being said, if you've made it this far, put the word gnome, if you would please, in the comment section. Why? Well, I like gnomes. They're pretty cool. But, with that being said, if you made it this far, thank you so much. You are my hero. You really are. It means a lot to me and everybody else that works here. So, love your faces. Be good. I'm not sure which one of the videos you would pick. So, there's videos coming in. And if you do pick one of those 2 videos, I, of course, will see you in the next video. And I hope you have a great weekend. Peace. Bye. Bye-bye. Oh no!